Hello guys, and we're here to talk about episode 4, The Warriors of Kyoshi. Hopefully I'm saying that right. And something interesting happened on this episode. You know, my brother and his wife give a call and they say, hey, we're throwing dinner together. Did you want to come over? I said I'd love to, but I gotta edit and I also gotta watch the Avatar and do the vlog for it. And they said, oh, why don't you come on over and we'll watch it. You know, we're having mom and dad over too. I'm like, what? But they want to watch Avatar? And maybe, I don't know. So I said I'll be over a little later. I go over there, and they're finishing up episode 3 of Avatar. And I come in, and I'm like, well, I gotta watch episode 4, and they're like, let's put it on. We're liking it. So now my folks are interested in Avatar, which, who the hell would have thought? I guess it's the show that brings families together. A little caption for you there. Yeah, once again, I guess it goes sort of beyond the typical expectations of just being a kid show, which a lot of kid shows do, but it's cool that this one can. Again, I'm seeing the attraction to it more and more. So, with that said, this episode, I'll tell you what I really enjoyed about this episode is that I've sort of been going on and on about the comedy in these shows being a little too childish, but again, I get it, kid show, you gotta trade. This is the first one where it was, like, legitimately funny. Like, this was not only making me laugh, it was making me laugh hard. Like, there were good jokes in this, and good character-based jokes. That's my Skype. But just a lot of good stuff in this one. And I'll tell you the one that made me laugh the most. Okay, so just the setup, I'm sure you all know, but this is the one where they travel to this, I think it's an island, I'm not sure, but this this land where they have one of the Avatar's reincarnations used to be there, like whatever centuries ago, and he comes there and he reveals who he is, and he gets a lot of fangirls, essentially. This is a very female-dominated society, and the warriors are female, and so forth, and the scene after, one of the things he's trying to do is that he's trying to show off this trick to the sister, where it's just something very simple where he's just going like this and making a little, I don't know what it is, a little wheel spin or something like that. And when he finally reveals who he is, he says, now take a look at this, and he does that trick again, and this one guy just, like, screams at the top of his lungs like a girl, just goes, oh, 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 and salivates at the mouth and just falls over, and we had to watch it like 3 times to get the laughs out. It was so funny. But on top of that, the other humor in this is so strong. They have one scene, it starts out with them trying to figure out where the Avatar is, and it looks like he's jumping over from, you know, nation to nation, place to place, and, you know, the prince looks at him and says, obviously this Avatar is the master of I don't know, outwitting us or something like that. I can't remember exactly what he says, but it turns out he just wants to go to different parts to either have fun, like riding animals, or they just get lost. I think after he says that, it cuts to them, and he just says, we are so lost. And that was very funny. And the humor on this one was really on track, but another great thing about it is that they have a setup for what this episode is going to be about. You know, they say, all the fangirls are over the Avatar, and they say, the sister says, but don't let it go to your head. Oh, I won't. Okay, well, we know what this episode is. Might as well just go to the next one, because we know what it is. But no, they do the lesson in there. It's definitely there, but they address it very quickly, and then they move on. They move on to other issues going on. Like, there's a scene that the Fire Army comes, and, of course, the Airbender has to fight them off, protect the village, but he's seeing the damage that has happened from him just being there. I think it's being revealed that the responsibility of just being who he is gonna be a lot to take on. And you can see it just by the way he's looking down over the village that's burning. And that's done without words. That's only done through the music and the shots and the expression drawn on the face. Again, for a kid show to get that, that's very impressive. Another thing I like about this episode is that you probably heard me say before that I kind of get, I mean, it's a legit point, but I kind of get annoyed when they do a lot of like the girl power thing in the sense of, oh come on, girls can't do that, girls can't be that, oh yeah, they stand up to the big dumb society and prove them wrong. You know, fair enough, there's a lot of prejudice, but I've seen it to death. Here, I think it works a little better because it's not the society that's against, females being, pretty much the warriors in this. It's this one idiot. It's the brother. And the brother catches on very quickly to a point where he even wants to be taught by them. And it's not done just for laughs. He does it very respectably. He bows to them and says, I would very much like to learn your ways. And again, it's not just a one-note character. It does show that he will learn from his mistakes and he wants to grow stronger. Again, I think that's a very good thing to have in this. I mean, to a point where he even has to wear the uniforms, but even the uniforms, which are very feminine, but at the same time, it has purpose to it. They describe why the uniforms are the way they are and what it means and the honor, and he actually starts to sort of get into it, and he starts to be very proud to wear that uniform, until they throw it into a dumbbell joke with Aang saying, hey, nice dress, which is cute, but I like that they carry that dignity in there too. And the other thing I'll talk about before signing off is that when it started off with the animals in this, he's like, you want to go penguin sledding? And I'm like, well, that's odd. And then you see what penguins are in this world. And at first I thought, well, that's not a penguin. It's penguin-like. Why don't you just make up a name for it? I don't get that. But it wasn't until I saw this episode that I realized you got, they have these rhinos on the fire ship with the fire army, and I'm saying to myself, how could you keep these things on there? Where would you keep them? How would you feed them? How would they get proper exercise? Kid show. So they bring these rhinos out, and they're these really cool looking creatures. Don't have too much of a purpose watching the episode. Maybe they do more in another episode. But they're these really cool, deformed looking creatures. I start asking myself, what the hell do other animals look like? If that's a penguin, that's a rhinoceros, like that's a buffalo, what the hell else is there in this world? What does a dolphin look like? What does a squirrel look like? And it got me legitimately excited. It got me asking questions about the world. So that's actually much more clever than I gave it credit for. That's actually very, very smart. That created a world where they have the same name, but they're going to be similar design, but they're still going to be different. I think the eel, in the lake there is now a gigantic monster. It's like, so wow, the variations of this are really exciting. And what I realized with this episode in particular, because this one was a touch more episodic, but it's technically continuing the story, but it's obviously a little bit more of a side episode, sort of with a little bit more comedy. What I realized watching it is that this show, for lack of a better phrase, does legitimately make me feel like a kid again. It makes me excited to discover this stuff. It makes me excited to see where it's going to go next, where the relationships are going to go, how they're going to interact off of all of this, what surprises are around each corner, what you're going to see. And what that made me realize about, again, for lack of a better term, sort of grown-up entertainment as opposed to younger entertainment. Somewhere down the line, when you get older, there seems to be this need you want to see heavy drama, you want the heavy stuff. We want Game of Thrones, we want Lost, we want characters to die, we want things to be really aggressive, we want to go, oh my god, I can't believe they did that, we want our soap opera, we want sort of this, not that it's all negative, but we want that focus on negative, because that's going to bring us back. How are they going to get out of this? And you need the likable characters, but we're more interested in the really tough situations that they're put in. I kind of forgot, watching this, it sort of reminded me of, like, days of, like, back when I was a kid watching, whatever, like Disney Afternoon or some kiddie stuff like that. There is this great element of fun. And I forgot that some shows can really capture that drama and the relationships and everything else that you see in really good adult shows, but can still have that element of fun. Kid shows are allowed to be fun. And I think a lot of grown-up entertainment focuses possibly too much on the aggressive, because there are definitely fun moments in shows, but they're kind of like the side episodes or the funny little thing there. Oh, isn't that neat? Those characters had this funny little adventure. Well, back to the serious stuff. And this show seems to have a really good mix. Even though I'm not always on board with the humor, though this episode was very funny, they have a real good mix of it, and I just forgot about that connection and what it means to just have fun watching a show. And I am having great fun watching this show, and I can definitely see why so many people are attracted to it. And this is only episode 4, so again, very excited to see, because every episode just seems to keep getting better, so I'm very excited to see where it's going to go next. I know I always end the vlogs with that, but yeah, I'm definitely, I'm not, you can call me a fan. I'm a real big fan of this show. So, I'll see you for episode 5.